you wanna know. A real life episode. My Gilcreast podcast show. We keeping it real, y'all. Hey, are you ready?
Hello, how's everyone doing? Happy Sunday to everybody. This Sunday, first day of the week, and hopefully people went to church. I did. I had to preach today, so had an awesome time. But we're here live in person on the Mike Gilcreast show. I said Friday when I was online, I said I see y'all Sunday. I forgot Sunday was my birthday, and so we celebrate my birthday early. You see the birthday cake is 2 cakes on there. One's my wife and one is mine. We normally celebrate our birthdays together, even though we was on a cruise ship. My wife wanted to take me out to dinner today, so we celebrated our birthday again. And they sang to us at Kobe's, as one of my favorite places to go eat. And so we had Kobe's, and boy, their prices really went up, but the food was delicious. They gave us so much. We found the perfect place in Longwood, Florida, and the service was like outstanding because Kobe's, a lot of them down here in Florida, but this one, oh my God, is at the top of my list. It was just good. And the proportion of food, oh my God, they just gave us so much. But I celebrate my birthday today. I'm a year older and I'm still going strong. Thank God for that. I'm just blessed to be able to, give God praise for one, and just to be here in your presence. And we got something to talk about today, and so bring your questions. So we've been discussing the top 5 reasons people get divorced in relationships. And I did have dinner at Kobe's. You never know who I'm dinner with, but we was with one family, and it was a mom and dad and 5 children, 4 sons, 1 daughter. And so we was with dinner with them. We're not going to expose them, but just in case they tune in, I'm going to give them a shout out as well. But we were happy to be there. People are amazed when I tell them I'm a film producer, I'm an author, I'm an international speaker. I mean, I'm just all over the place. And so we're having fun. And this year we're going to be up and away, like going 100, I guess full speed ahead. We'll be at the film producer this Thursday, working on our film stuff and trying to get the film out this year. It's just so much we're doing. I got 2 films come out this year, another book that I'm working hard and diligent to get that out this year as well. And so this year is going to be exciting. Last year I was up in New York Times Square with Les Brown up on the billboard. So we're doing a lot of great things. You see my happy birthday out there. That's to me and my wife, and me particular today, because today is my birthday. We did most of hers on the cruise ship. And so, but nevertheless, we celebrate together and go from there. But it's 2 cakes, and that's for both of us to make a wish. And the cake was delicious. It's like a marshmallow ice cream, and I love the cherry on top. And so, yes, happy birthday it is. Happy New Year it is. And we had a great holiday season. We don't really do, we do trees and stuff, but not really. And so we did a tad of decoration. You could almost think that we were in the Christmas spirit, but we wasn't here. We celebrate Christmas on a cruise ship, and so people dressed up in pajamas, in their Christmas pajamas, and we see more pajamas in Christmas and pictures in front of trees, and I'm like, boy, I felt like I was in their home. Yeah, but we're here celebrating. But yes, wish me happy birthday, if you will, and go from there. Don't forget, you can always go to my Facebook page and give me something there. And so y'all have that, right? You have my Facebook, and this is my Facebook right here. Bishop Mike Gilcreast on Facebook, and you can always give me a shout out over there as well. And but anytime we take pictures and we take travels, you could go to this website, Facebook, and then Bishop Mike Gilcreast, and put that in. If you look into information on our movie stuff, It's the forgivenlifeproject.org or .com. It's say .com, but it's .org.com. We have both websites. And so we're looking, you're looking to, gauge interest there. We're looking for investors as well. And just trying to see where things will go from here and see what happens. I'm a film producer, so I'm liking life about that. And I put this out here because if you don't see the first chat where you can click the link if you want to come on live, this is also the link where you can copy that, copy it, and if you take a picture of it, I'll put up again. Take a picture of it. You can come on live, but that's the link to get onto my show if you want to come on live, and you click it, you ring it in, and I let you in. Okay, and so we go for that, but you can ask your questions live, and so I'm trying to put everything up here so you can see it and go from there. But yes, we're trying to do it right and do it real. But I don't take it down. Happy birthday to me and my wife, and happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. And anyway, I'm not going to, indulge y'all with my singing. Then you're not going to want me to do the podcast. You're going to want me to sing. So I understand. So I got to stop it right now. All right. So I want to do that. So let's see me and my lovely wife, and we're here live and in person to talk about, the fourth thing, and you can ask questions on the other three if you miss joining and stuff, and so you can have questions, because we talked about family and relationships and how that infect or impacts relationships or marriages. We talked about religion, how religion, husband and wife, they go in two different churches, and the last we talked about finances and how that affect relationships. And I'm doing an overview kind of thing, but ask your questions. Tell your friends, say they own, come on. And he got a new song, the Mike Gilcreast Show. And so perfect time to let it come out on my birthday as well. And so, yes, and that's my wife singing. That's, real live podcast. That's her. Hey, all right. And but yeah, we are doing it up, and a friend of mine's helped with that. One of our best friends, Ralph Williams, he helped put that together for us. And so I'm giving him credit as well.
Thank you, Ralph.
Yeah, thanks, Ralph. All right, little brother, because I'm the oldest, so little brother. All right. And but it is as it is. We're having a ball. We're having a fantastic time. And to talk about communication, that's what we're going to talk about today. And Linda, my favorite sister-in-law, Linda, yes, happy birthday, thank you, and hello to you, beautiful young lady. Get well. And yes, we're color coordinated in my tie, whatever. She said you both are color coordinated. I got to put that up so y'all can see that. All right, can you see it? You both are color coordinated. This is my wife. I just wear clothes. I don't complain about what I'm wearing. She always have my clothes set up, and I people like, I like what y'all look like. I look what y'all got. I say, you know what? I have no choice. I wear it. She's the fashion stylist, and she was going to school for fashion design, but she hooks me up. I ain't wear the jacket, but I put the tie on. It's my birthday, so that's that. But yeah. She hooked us up. So yeah, people love us. We in stores, we outings. People always love how we dress. And so we, try to roll, nice. I try to be relaxed on my show as well. But we have to roll sometimes. I can't always, wear my, I'm not even gonna say
Sunday here.
Yeah, not Sunday best, but I like to wear lounge pants and stuff like that, and sweats and so forth, so on. So it is what it is. And so I take that and go in stride, and see what happens from there. But I like the relax type look. Okay. Nevertheless, I'm here and we go from there. All right. And so I was at the mall, people coming to, can I take a picture with you? Got to take a picture. And so I have fans now as well. So I gotta, watch how I dress as well. But anyway, yes, we're color coordinated and we're bringing it. We're here live on the Mike Gilcreast Show. And bring your questions and stuff like that, and we go from there. But let's engage. We always have a word of prayer before we come online as well, and so we want to give you guys good information, good stuff, because relationships, some people don't know what they're doing and hurting, and some people don't have people to talk to, and people get stuck in marriage. I'm serious, they get stuck, and they're like, we don't know who to talk to, and like, you don't call your mom, she's always going to agree with you, and somebody, you call your dad, you call your family, they always agree with you. But sometimes you can ask a person like me, why I don't have interest in either party. And I'll give you the truth. I always say, don't ask a question. What? If you don't want the answer. Do not ask that question. And so I'm going to give it to you good, bad, and different. And it's my opinion, but it's just opinion. Take it or leave it, right? It is what it is. And as we go forward, we're going to hit this, all right? So let's get started. I covered a whole lot. I talked fast because we had a lot to do and trying to, get it going forward. So gone. Let's hit it. So we're on the fourth one of the top 5 reasons. We're on number 4, communication. And the next issue we talk about, we're not sure if we're going to have a guest next Wednesday. So if that's pertinent, and it's the last time we're doing this, and so if when we're trying to bring Shirley back on so she could talk about domestic violence, and that's scheduled for next Wednesday, the next time supposed to be on for this show. But I'm saying if the scheduling doesn't work, because it's not been working with her schedule, because she had a lot going on. She had death, she had this and that. But this is the last time we're going to try to coordinate this show. And if it doesn't work, then we're just going to go ahead with our show as well and finish up the top 5 and go from there. If it goes over, I don't care. We're going to be able to do that as well. And then we're trying to get something together for Valentine's Day for couples and stuff. So, hey, stay tuned. Bring the question. We're going to look at some young couples. And I'm trying to coordinate. It's so hard to coordinate it and bring it together, but we're going to try to get it going so you guys can, be afforded the opportunity to talk to young people and look at their side of relationships, because relationships are different now, all the way around. And so when people can do it and do it successful, hey, I think those are the people you want to talk to. And so we're trying to put that together as well. And then I'm finishing up another book, and then we'll bring that author in as well. It's a lot of stuff we're trying to do. I'm just throwing it at you just to know I'm busy. And I'm a one-man show, and I have my wife as my manager, but we're like full. And this year we're going to be, probably, 4 hours of sleep. I mean, we're going to be going. I get my knee surgery, get that well, boom. I'm going to be up in New York. I'm be in Times Square. I'm looking forward to this. I got book release. I'll be on TV, be on radio. I'm like, oh, this year it's going to be fantastic, super phenomenal. All right. And let's bring it. And then hopefully next time you see us, we together, we're here on one frame. See, we're here on one frame. And so hopefully we got adding more cameras and stuff. So my wife will have her own camera in this. It's like my studio's growing, getting bigger and stuff. And it is for this, but we do have our own mics. And so we're going to go forward, and you'll see us probably in 2 frames next time. And so I'll be able to have stretch out, because, I got these guns right here, and I need to, flex a little bit, How funny is that? They want to see me kiss you. All right. Oh my God. I don't know if I can do the show now. No, I'm joking. All right. So communication. Oh my God. People go into relationship. And I'll tell you, I think the best foundation you can have in a relationship, y'all agree, disagree. God first. Always God first. But after God, I think, even though I said top 5, they're not in the right orders, because it could be anything for any one relationship. However, communication, I think, is the next level. After God, if you're going to build it right, and you had to put an order, communication, people, and they call it, I'm divorcing you because I don't agree with you. I don't like how you do ABCG. And the thing is, you never exposed it. You never talked about it. But communication is 80% of communication is what? I'm gonna see if y'all know it. I was gonna give you the answer. Let me see. Some depends on what article you read or what book you read. 75% or 80. So let's say 75 to 80% of all relationships is based on what? Let me see if y'all know it. I'm gonna see if put some answers out there. All right, 75 to 80%, or 75 to 85, right, of all relationships is based, or relationship destruction is based on what? Let me see what I have. Oh, somebody. What you got? I got questions here, but I want to see. These are questions.
You trying to ask a question?
They're asking me questions. I'm saying what common denominator of the top 5 is a big part of communication, and 75 to 85% of it is this one thing that we're talking about. Communication. There we go. That's what I want. The last word, communication. All right. This is we break up relationships, we change lives, we disrupt our lives over this one word, communication. Communication. All right. I don't understand my wife. She don't understand me. That's why you have a relationship. You learn to grow, and it takes. I'll tell you, you do not know that person that you just met. I'm writing a book. I can't wait to finish it. But you don't know the person you just met. It takes a lifetime. Just like your kids amaze you. You had them, and it seems like they get from 5 to 15. You like, who is this person that I birthed? Who is this person that I raised? Relationships are the same way. You do not know that one person. You got to be willing to give, take, disappoint, undisappoint, be upset, upset. It's a roller coaster. Communication. I'm serious. It's a teaser, man. It's something else. Communication. We would change the rest of our lives. We would take less. We would disrupt our livelihood over this. You didn't hear what I said. You never listened to me. That's what people talk about. I don't like how you talk to me. I don't like how you look at me. I didn't like how you got up yet the last 5 days and you didn't say nothing to me. I'm role playing. But don't forget, I got the certificate on the wall. I'm pretty good at this stuff. I love this stuff. But anyway, I'm playing what people do, and they're like, I don't want to be with you no more. And then we think we could do better. We think if you can't do it the first time, you can't do it the second time, the third time, the fourth time. It don't matter how many relationships you get in. If you do not excellent the art of communication, knowing how to give and take and knowing how to sacrifice, you'll never have a good relationship. Like absolutely never. I'll tell you, I did not know my first wife. I didn't know the girlfriends I was with. I could have married a whole number of people. I had so many participants and whatever. And the thing is, I would have been a mess. Seriously. If I would have married anybody and not have figured out who I was, who God was, and to understand that person I want to be married to. My wife, I'll tell you all the time, she's the only woman I ever romanced. She's the only woman I've never cheated on, right? But the thing is, I had things that was in play to help me get there, all right? And so people are ignorant, seriously. I say the word stupid all the time, right? So I'll just say ignorant. If you go into a relationship and potentially marriage, and then you don't get marriage counseling. I did not know who I was until I got marriage counseling. I didn't understand my roles and responsibilities until I got marriage counseling. I was stuck. I was absolutely stuck. And didn't know everything I thought I knew was wrong. How I grew up was wrong. How my parents raised me was wrong. It was not applicable to my relationship. To understand your parents' relationship is far different than understanding your own. You could get some examples and maybe even some advice, but to understand the relationship as a whole, you're reaching. It is terrible. We don't know what we think we knew. All the stuff we thought we grew up and all the times we think we're right. You don't do that, and you don't get it. And the thing is, to go into a relationship and not have premarital counseling or anything close to that is marital suicide. Seriously, marital suicide. And so and people always say I could do it better because they get with me. They getting all this and that. And why do we think sex answers everything? I'm upset. Let's have sex. You're upset. Let's have sex. Things didn't work out. Let's have sex. Somebody died. Let's have sex. That's bad communication because that doesn't fix the problem. It satisfies a need, but it doesn't fix the problem because the problem's reoccurring. Let me go get something to drink. Let me get something to smoke. Let me get high. Let me stop going to church. Let me stop praying. We try to figure out life by adding another entity to it or another device to it, and it doesn't work. You've got to first know, like I said, God first, communication, but you got to know who you are and what you're willing to put in a relationship. People go into the relationship and they have unrealistic expectations. When I get married, it's going to be like this. When I get married, he's going to do that. When I get married, I'm going to do that. And when I get married, nobody's going to tell me who I can run and go with. Don't get married. Don't get married. When you put the whole plateau out or the whole platform out of what your requirements are, you're setting yourself up for failure. Do not get married. You're not ready for marriage. Because marriage is not about one individual. It's about both of you guys. Both are what brings you to the table. If my wife was a different type of woman, like some women, like the preacher wife we talked about Friday, and I'm like, oh no, my wife wouldn't wear nothing like that, because I myself wouldn't have respect for her, for real. And the thing is, for people to justify that, I'm not there. But I need somebody. I want my wife to respect me, but I have to respect her. And if I don't respect her, no trust, no relationship, no respect, no relationship. Those two things are paramount for me in a relationship. And we don't talk about what you expect in a relationship. And the thing is, first thing we do is get to meet. Oh, I want to get to meet you. You look good. Girl, I can't wait to get next to you. You don't know what you're trying to get next to. She could be the most laziest person that you ever respect, and you a neat freak, and she laying around and all you get is TV dinners. We why don't we take the time to get to know the people versus trying to jump in the bed? I'm being honest. Because I'll tell you, before me being married 30 plus years now, right? My first thing when I was dating was, I'm trying to get next to you. Seriously. I don't care who you are with and whatever. And all that was ignorant and stupid, because I almost got caught up in something. And I talk about all the time how, I could have multiple women pregnant and I was not ready to be a dad to those kids that would have been born, or a father or a husband to any of those women I was with. And I wasn't even thinking serious relationship, but I wasn't communicating. Because I didn't look at the longevity, the long run of what's expected from me in a relationship. I was irresponsible. I was young. I was immature. I was dumb. I was stupid. And I wasn't thinking. I was talking about myself. I wasn't there. And I knew I was right. Looking back, I'm like, oh my God, so I'm glad. But when I was doing it, I didn't think about it. I would have been in a jammed up situation, my life jacked up. I wouldn't be on the path that I'm on today if I would have made those mistakes. And I think some people live like that. They are at heart because they think they got bad bodies. They think they're beautiful. They think they this. They think they that. They could date a guy and they ain't caring about what nobody got to say. And then they disrespect their parents on top of that. And the thing is, that's not should be. What's wrong with taking time? Have a 30, well, most guys are ready to get married 6 months to a year. So with understanding that women, understanding most guys are ready to get married for 6 months to a year. You have to have a timeline as to no sex until the wedding date. And then you monitor every date to get to that point, knowing already most guys want to be married 6 months to a year. So don't put yourself out there. I heard a young lady say, young lady friend of mine, goddaughter, But anyway, I'm making my money. And if you're not ready for marriage, go make that money. Go make that money. Go make that money. Go make that money. But leave relationships alone. All right? You can't do both. You're going to try and something's going to jam up in your plans. I'm all for women want to be independent, make their money, whatever. And when you decide early in age, don't wait till you're 35 and 40 and then say, oh, now I'm ready to get married. well, you're in the critical point of childbearing, so that doesn't really work. And so you got to be able to do it where you can capitalize on all of it. If you want it all, you got to plan it just right. Make that money, have that money coming in, and that way you don't let no dude mess up your potential. If anybody change your action, it's got to be for the right reason. Marriage and only marriage and nothing else. And you ain't playing with me. You ain't playing around with me. You ain't get me pregnant. You ain't messing up my life. You ain't give me AIDS. You ain't get me to go crazy over you. Da, 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 da. Right? So I'm saying a lot. I'll let my wife say a few things. All right. Because you got to get this communication thing together. All right, you got to. And I'm telling you, it's paramount. It's top 5 reason people get divorced, and they call it irreconcilable difference. And the thing is, you're spoiled or he's spoiled. And I'm just laying it out. Somebody's really, really, really spoiled. Anyway, I'll be right back. And my wife's talking.
All right. So in communicating, we want to make sure that we keep an open line of communication with one another. And also, I came across my premarital counseling book. Wow, I digged up some years here. But I was just looking at this, and it on the topic of communication, it says that the it describes communication as communication is to love what blood is to life. I say it again. It says communication is to love what blood is to life. We can't have life without blood. So in essence, it's saying you can't have communication without love. Amen. And so we want to make sure that we communicate in love with the respect of one another. Communicate in love, not bickering and arguing and fussing. That's not proper communication. That's not communicating at all. You're not getting through. You're not getting through the person because the person's not hearing you because they feeling offensive because you arguing and you fussing. And so when we communicate, we want to make sure that we communicate using the right tone and the right language. We don't want to be fussing. We want to be cussing. Who's going to hear you? With your words is going to go in and out.
And make sure the environment's just right. You got to set the tone right. The environment got to be right. You don't want to do it. You don't want to do it in a public restaurant where if hopefully nobody's arguing, but you don't want to. You want to be in a safe zone. But go ahead.
And says, it is impossible to have any kind of relationship unless there is communication. That is true for you. And this was a premarital counseling book, so it's talking about your fiance and for your relationship with God. So when we come to God and communicating to Him, we're not coming to Him, or you shouldn't be going to Him fussing, cussing. God's gonna say, eject. I'm not hearing what you got to say. You come to God correct. That's how we're supposed to come.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I wouldn't want to like we don't cuss. We don't curse or however you want to say it. But I would not tolerate conversation from her cussing at me. And it ain't happening. That's disrespect. And so I don't curse her. I don't talk to her. And we went into this marriage and we said we're not calling each other's name. And I'll tell you, that's been a strength for us. We do not, I'll be like, you this and that. And she don't call me you this and that. We don't call each other's name because love doesn't do that. And so we knew we was not going to call no name calls because you could tease somebody with name calling. And I've learned this in the past. and it turns into an argument. You meant that. You meant that. You such and done and blank. And I know some women, their first name is female dog. Y'all know the other word for that. Some women, their wives and their husband calling them female dogs. No way I would ever disrespect my wife and call that. It's not coming out my mouth. Because the thing is, if I'm supposed to be married to her, in love with her, caring for her, sheltering for her, security for her, protecting her, I'm not going to disrespect her. You can't love nobody if you disrespect them. Go ahead, you guys, because I talk. But go ahead. Yeah. I'm excited because I think relationships is outstanding. Okay, well, I gotta shut up. You gotta start talking, or I keep talking.
Go ahead, talk. Go
All right.
ahead, talk. I chime in.
Yeah. I'm just like really excited about relationship. I think relationship for me, I have to have a relationship. I gotta be in a relationship. I cannot be a single man. Being a single man, because I don't want to have a relapse, you know. I'm not saying I'm weak or anything like that. The thing is, I don't want to put myself out there on the single side. I have to be married, and marriage has really been productive for me. And so that's been a success of mine. And so I'm like, you know what? I encourage it. And even the Bible says two is better than one. I don't want to do the single life. I don't want to do the dating life. I don't want to, because some people I would date them just because I'm bored, but I wouldn't really want to date them. And so I don't want to go through that. I mean, my sights would be on my next wedding. I'm serious. 6 months to a year. And the thing is, within a year's time frame, I don't know if I will ever get married again, but if I did, it wouldn't take me long. I don't know, because I don't think I find nobody like compatible with me like my wife. I think that's hard to find, for real. Because we trust each other, and we don't have that. I don't stab her in the back. She don't stab me in the back. We don't have that, and so we communicate. I'll tell you, if I don't like something, she gonna know it. Whether she like it, dislike it, she gonna know it. I tell her I always be honest. Whether it hurt you or not, I'm gonna be honest. Whether you like it or not, I'm gonna be honest. I cannot be in a relationship with her and not be honest. She have to be honest to me, because I'll be like, hold on, you gotta be honest to me. And so we went into this knowing, and that's communication, right? Knowing that I have to give it, whether it hurt me or not, tell me. When I'm sitting on boards and I'm the chair, a CEO, or I'm the president of the board or the director or whatever, right? And I tell my staff or tell people on my panel, I say, don't lie to me. If we can't do it, we can't do it. Always be honest. I've always felt that way. I'm not going to penalize you, dislike you, or have a thing against you because you told me your opinion. No, I want you to be honest. A lot of pastors, a lot of people that work with pastors, they don't be honest to their pastors. I'm the pastor to be honest to. I'm serious. Because I might say no, but that don't mean never. Because it might come into place like, wait, let's do it. Let's do this because it was your ideal. I don't even want to take the credit from people, but that's how I roll. I roll like that. Give honor where honor's due. I've learned the biblical principles. I'm a great pastor. I believe that, and so I take care of people. But I believe in open communication. Seriously, tell me the truth. Whether it hurt me or not, tell me the truth. I don't want yes people. I want people lying to me and tell me I can do what I can. And then I look bad, and I'm like, hold on, I trusted you. Now get off my team because I don't want you on my team. Seriously, you got to be honest to me. And I've always been the way. If anybody know me, they know I'm this way. You have to be honest to me. And my wife, she knows she got to be honest to me. I don't care. I don't care what it is. She got to come correct. And that's how I come to her. And whether it hurt her, upsets her, whatever, I'm telling her, this is it. This girl tried to come on to me. I tell her stuff like that. And the thing is, I'm not going to lie about a woman coming on to me. I get played when people try to pick me up. I tell my wife came and told me when in the Bahamas. She said, this older lady, we talking about my book, my movie, and my wife said, she told me, I said, I ain't see her. She said she was right there. She turned around, zipped down her thing so you could see her cleavage, and I still didn't see it. And my wife watched her do that. But the thing is, we don't have that. Like my wife, she worried about, oh my God, they're gonna show this. She could have brought the things out. I don't care. I'm not into that. I'm not chasing nothing. I like to be honest. But the thing is, you gotta have this in your relationship. If you have to be in a relationship and you can't be honest, that's not a relationship. If you can't tell the truth, that's not a relationship. It really isn't. You just living and you're miserable. I guarantee you. And this is the reason I speak like I've been married before. And I know I get this. I gave the silent treatment. I got the silent treatment. I said, I'm tired of this. I'm miserable. And I divorced her because I'm like, I wasn't in church because, in church you can't divorce and stuff. But I was a sinner. And I'm like, you know what? I wanted peace. And I didn't have the peace I want. I didn't have the trust I don't. My ex tried to get me, my ex-wife tried to get me fired from my job. And making up stuff. I had to go report to the military people and tell them what happened, this, that, and the other. And I could not believe. I said, who would do that? That's not true. Because I'll tell you, if I'm going to cheat, I'm going to cheat. If I'm going to do it blatantly, seriously, you don't have to worry about me going sneaking behind your back. If I'm going to cheat, I'm going to do it blatantly. Seriously, blatantly. And so I want to be honest, and I'm doing that blatantly. But I'm to me, I think I'm a lesser person. If I'm going to cheat and I can't do it in the open, I want to be who I am. Like it, love it, don't like it, whatever. I'm going to be who I am. And the thing is, either be real or be phony, right? And so you got to bring it or not. But I ain't going to be in a relationship where I got to lie. And I think nobody should be in a relationship where you have to lie. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. I'm not happy with you. I don't like how you do this. I'm not, I don't feel at peace with you. You got to step up and tell that woman, because some men won't tell the woman nothing. Oh, if I say this to her, I ain't getting nothing tonight. Well, later for that. Don't let sex rule you. I'm just being real. You got to tell the truth. Me and my wife, we don't do that sleeping on the couch. She don't like what I said. You sleep on the couch. I don't like what she said. She sleep on the couch. We don't do that. We upset with each other, and I still get a massage when I go to bed at night, because that's the relationship we have. You got to know what you signing up to be married, for better, for worse, for richer, for poor, in sickness and health, to death do you part. Why in the world do you get married? Why in the world do you get to any relationship and you're not willing to give y'all and you can't be yourself? You got to be yourself, whether you got to change, whether you got to tone it down, whether you got to change how you dress, change like the people you hang out with. I am not a proponent of hanging out with the men and hanging out with the women. I'm a men's night, girls night. I'm not a proponent of that, because I talk to too many people in church who out with the girls, and the girl, the one night she away from her husband and she gonna have an affair on her husband. She meet the dude and now he up in her bedroom. And I had to cancel folks like this. Seriously, I'm not a proponent of men's night and girls' night, because I'll tell you what they'll talk about. If they ain't in together on a business to make some money, they talk about girls. Guys either get together for money or girls, and unless it's a brotherhood at church, and hopefully they talk about church, or how to have better relationships, because that's what you do supposed to do from the church perspective. But dudes don't get together, hang out, get a couple of drinks and hang out with my boy and whatever. And then men hanging out with, when guys hang out with dudes and all the other dudes do is cheat, they cheating too, all right? I'm telling you how it is. Birds of a feather flock together. You hang around like people. If you drink, you hang around people who drink. You get drunk, you get high, you hang around people who get high. If you cheating, when the dudes I hung around, we all was cheating. Hey, man, we go there. Let's see who can get that one first. Let's see who will knock that out. Hey, we're going to get that number right there. You cheat. And if you believe anything less than that, then I can't tell you. I think you're on another planet. Maybe that's the women from Venus. Dudes do not hang out with dudes just to hang out. Women don't hang out. What you hang out for? Talk about, and then the girls compete, and wait, I can't wait till y'all see this book. But girls compete. They don't. What's going on with you and Joe? Oh, I like how y'all are. And girls, she trying to beam up on how to take you out so she can be with Joe. Women, y'all don't understand what's going on in this world that we call life. All right, I'm telling you like it is. This is how I see it. All right. I ain't hanging out with no guys if we ain't doing business together. Normally, when I talk to my friends, we catch up on what we're doing and we move on. It ain't like, oh man, we got to get together. When we get together with the husbands and the wives. That's how we do our friends. The husbands and the wives are together. We got friends, we've been friends 30 years since we've been married, and we hang out together, husband and wife. That's how we supposed to be doing it. I don't get it when we got all these things out and nobody's talking. Everybody's scared to talk. I'm about to leave you, so I ain't telling you what I'm going to do. Well, it is what it is. You know already if dudes are cheating. Women know. Guys know if girls are cheating. We play like we don't know, and because what we gonna do? I don't want to be alone. Well, if they cheating, it's better than bringing some disease home to you. Let them go. Some dudes get crazy. You cheat on me, I'm going to kill you. You know, you got to know what relationship you're in. Some people are in relationship because they're threatened. They're scared. Leave. They got underground places where you can go hide if you're in domestic type abuse situations. You could go hide and they change your name, your identity, the whole 9 yards. And you could get out of the mess, have a whole new life. You know, so when people in situations that they don't want to change, it's because they want to be there. You know, it's only explanation. I'm not being in no miserable type relationship. I don't know how to do it. I don't want to do it. I'm not wasting my time, energy, because I didn't live life. I done been married. I done cheated on my first wife. I done did this stuff. And it's nothing. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to go through that again. You know? So you got to communicate. I'm here to tell you, communication's the key. You got to communicate. What y'all want to do? Where you want to go in this relationship? When the last time you sat down and talked to your partner, talk to your husband, talk to your wife, and say, where are we going? What we doing in this relationship? What we going to do? You know? You got to figure it out. And a lot of times we don't have God. People not going to church. People don't have no foundation. They don't know what they don't do. Well, if I can't leave, I can't pay my bills, I can't pay the rent, I can't pay the car payment, so I'm staying. So you in a relationship from materialistic lead and you're miserable in your mind. I'm not saying get a divorce. If you can't work it out, that's what people get. They get divorced, they get separated. I'll tell you, I was broke when I left my first wife. I couldn't, we both was writing checks and this and that, and they bouncing all over the place, and we couldn't pay bills. I was so unhappy. I didn't care what I was doing, and I left. I'm serious. I left. I could not handle it because the thing is, guys get to a point, and guys, I'm telling you how guys is, right? Guys get to a point when guys leave, let them go, because they have to go. Because if they don't leave, I'm telling you. I almost killed my first wife, literally. And I knew I had to leave. I knew it was time because if I ain't leave, if I stayed there, I'd probably be in jail today or dead. You got to know, guys, I'm talking to you. You got to know your breaking point so you don't cause harm to that individual. Don't get into a relationship where you lose yourself. Women don't, same thing. We talked to a woman. I told the woman I almost killed my first wife. This little woman, wasn't she little? She was small. And we was at a church conference, and she was crying, and she said, that story reminded me. And I'm telling you, this lady was probably 5'5", and she probably weighed 116 pounds, right? And she said, and I looked at this lady. She said, my husband going back and forth at her. And you don't remember her?
It's coming back.
And so I'll try to tell my wife where it was at. And so she said she almost killed her husband. I'm telling you, it's a thin line. Y'all remember the song? It's a thin line between love and hate. I'm telling you, I've been there. I do not. That's why I would just leave. I'm serious. I would just leave because you would. I hate talking about this because I ain't telling people to go kill their wife and kill their husband. I'm not saying that, but I've been to that point myself where I left my wife because I found it was more beneficial for me to leave than to try to cause her bodily harm, for real. And so I left, and then I eventually got a divorce. And when I left the second time, because I went back and I left the second time, I was done. I couldn't handle it no more. I'm like, no. I can't, because your mental capacity, you only can handle so much. Don't be in a relationship where you lose yourself, where you're willing to kill somebody or kill yourself. You willing to commit suicide. Don't be in no tight relationship. When I do my book signings, I talk to people and they're at that point. And so I understand because I've been there, and that's why I could come and talk to you all. You got to communicate. You got to sit down, have them meetings, whether it's a Monday morning, whether it's Monday evening, Friday evening. You find the time, put the kids to bed, let them go stay with your parents' house. You can't let them stay at your friend's house too much or your family members because you got to watch the incest stuff. Lord have mercy, Jesus. But anyway, put your kids in a safe place and then, or put them to bed and have a one-on-one quiet conversation with your spouse and find out what directions your relationship going on, what areas need worked on, what you could do better. You got to sit down and talk about these things. If you want to achieve some level of success, men trying to think they're smarter than women. Women trying to think they're smarter than men. No. God, now, why would God make each second, male or female, and one better than the other? No. We're better together. That's how God made us. It's not like she's smarter than he or he's smarter than her. No. A lot of guys, when guys they start drinking and smoking and getting high, they kind of lost the battle. They don't want to fight no more and they let themselves eventually die. I'm not drinking myself to death because I'm not getting along with my wife. It ain't happening. My past it wasn't the kind of past I didn't want to have. I'm not drinking, smoking, getting high myself to death because I didn't have the right path that I wanted. Because we all have the ability to change the path that we're on and make it the best for ourselves. All of us could do that. But if you have the tools to go forward in relationship, then what's wrong with talking about it? What's wrong with talking about it? Why be in a situation? And like some women know they husband cheating. I'll tell you. I'll tell you. My wife might stop me, right? But check this out. I cannot be nobody's wife. Seriously, I'm just thinking the way things are for man, for woman, and whatever, right? And I know he cheating on me. It ain't happening. And the thing is, I don't want my wife to be in a situation. If she thought I was cheating, I'm staying with my husband. No, go on, press your life on. Because the thing is, I know a fact. If my wife come to me and say, baby, I've been cheating on you the past, you fired. You're gone. Ain't no second chances. We ain't discussing it. I'm done. Just like that. But that's me. That's me. My wife could be like, oh, baby, I want to work this out. I don't have that in me. Because for me to be married today, I gave up a whole lot of everything. So I'm not going to be in a relationship and she cheating on me. I just don't know how to do that. Me as in, I can forgive you, but we'll never be married again. Seriously. I can move my life. I want nothing else to do with you, for real. But that's me. Now you got to make up your mind what type of see. When I married my wife, I keep telling you she's the only woman I've never cheated on, and she's the only woman I ever romance, for real. And believe me, I'm not just talking about. I've been around the block a couple times, but I found quality in her. I found the respect in her, and I know she's my partner or my spouse, or we're married and we're committed, and so we have that, and then we have the God factor together. But I'm telling you, I'm not. If I pray to God never cheat this, that, and other. But the thing is, I don't know how to be married to somebody that cheat on me. I don't know how to do that. And so I've never had to deal with that. I did. My first wife, we both was doing everything, but that was different. I was young, dumb, immature. But the thing is, I have wisdom now. And with wisdom now, I just don't have the heart to stay with somebody like that. Because for me, trust is everything. And when you betray that trust, I can't handle it. For the women that, they know they dude's cheating and he ain't changing, he ain't treating you right, I don't know how y'all do it. Y'all do you. And, as Wendy Williams would say, do you boo. All right. Do you boo? Do you boo? Do you boo? Cause I ain't got nothing to do with that. But you got to know what you want. Thing is, you deserve the best, and you deserve your husband to be faithful. You deserve your spouse to be faithful, serious, or the wife to be faithful. You deserve that. And so when you put 100 into it, and you know if you put 100, see, I know I'm putting 100. Because I'm telling you, I believe in take care of my family. My wife don't have to work and this, that, and other. So, and I don't hold the thing over. You can't get your hair done unless I say so. My wife has the freedom. We have a pretty dynamic relationship, and we both fear God. So, I believe in take care of my family. So that's a no brainer for me. And I don't want to control her with money and this, that, and the other. We don't do that. I think that's stupid. Some guys try to control their woman with money. You don't want that. That's not freedom, you know? And it doesn't look like freedom for me. Let's answer questions. We talked about communication. Keep both parties open. Find time to sit down and talk to each other. Always tell the truth. Don't hide your true feelings, and go from there. I mean, seriously, don't hide your true feelings. Say what you mean, say it respectfully. Don't cuss nobody out. Don't call people out of names, and go from there. I hope I said something you want. I'm telling you, if y'all don't have questions on this, I don't know. Let's see what questions we got. How can couples ensure that they are heard and understood? That's a hard one. You know the answer to that one? How do couples know? Like, if you say something to me, how can you know that you've been heard and understood? You say what you mean what you say.
You ask questions. You you ask, uh, do you understand where I'm coming from? Did you get what I'm saying? You ask questions to see
If they understand what you're saying.
if they understand.
Yeah. I think another way is to give it time. Give it 6 months or 3 months. Give it 3 months, 2 to 3 months, and then ask the same question again and see if the answer change. And that's one way to do it. And then another one is tell them to respond to you in a way where they understand what you're asking, because that's communication right there. But you can't assume that they have it, because the idea of communication is feedback between two parties. And so you got to make sure they understood what you're saying, or even they can repeat your question back to you before they answer it. So however you guys communicate, you got to put that down and go from there. Like I'll tell you, I make sure, you can ask my wife, she right here. I make sure she understands what I'm saying, right? Do I make sure? I overkill. I'm like, you got to look at it this way, this way, this way. Do you got it? Do you got it?
Yeah.
Because I'm serious. It's important for me, because I don't like to look bad in front of people. I want to make sure that me and her on the same page, and then we go from there. But that's how we do it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
let's make sure.
And a lot of times I don't even hear her. She could talk, I don't hear her. She'd be like, I tell you, I said, no, I ain't hear you. I ain't hear you. Because I'm good at blocking things out, because my mind goes 20 different places. So she got, Mike, did you hear me? I'm like, because my mind was in a different place. And so,
And give examples.
Yeah.
Of where you at.
Yeah, but check your conversation. Make sure that they heard you. All right. Here's another one. It says, how do you use communication to build a strong relationship? You got to give and take. It's like you got to find the right time, the right environment, the right atmosphere, everything. You got to give that good energy where, hey, babe, I want to talk to you. You got to bring, hey, nigga, hey, Negro, hey, dude, you blank, blank, blank. You can't talk to nobody like that. You got to give good energy. And then make sure they understand. Because if you love and kind, say, hey, babe, can I talk to you for a minute? Hey, babe, I got something on my mind. Whatever, right? You got to bring good energy so they can receive you. Women, use what God gave you. And I'm not talking about sex. Use what God gave you to talk to that man. That's why they use women on the police for it. Because women tend to calm down, domestic violent arguments and stuff like that. Use what God's given you. You got it. For real. Don't be doubting yourself.
Communication is also nonverbal.
Yeah, 80, 75 to 85% of communication we discussed earlier is nonverbal. 75 to 80%. Pay attention to who you with. Cause some people be like quiet, and some people get attitude. For the people that's not real, they get attitude so they can leave and be with somebody else. So that's a game. That's part of the game. I'm just putting it out there. All right. Oh, that's a bad one. How do you ensure clarity in communication? That's up to you. Do you understand you gotta ask the question? Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you get it? All right. And then if you don't clarify it, nobody gonna do it for you. If they ain't saying nothing to you, they ain't saying nothing back to you, then they ain't caring about what you saying. You gotta make sure, can we talk? And if they say no, you be like, okay, and then nothing else, they never can talk to you, and you say, okay, it's time to get help. If you don't want no marriage counseling and stuff like that, then your relation's probably headed for over. Okay. And so people don't talk about things that they don't like. They think you should understand. They think you should already know. And it's not true. Some people just don't know. You have to open up the doors and share with them so they can understand what you're saying. For real. Some people really don't know something's wrong. But you got to sit down and say, I got to talk to you. This is that. Even for the guys, hey, I got to talk to you. I got something on mine. And some guys, I'm telling you, you can't be a person, and I have to defend the guys. You can't be a woman, and the guy say, I want to talk to you. And this would happen, boom, boom, boom. And then everything they said, you use it against them. And guys ain't gonna talk to you. You cannot throw it in their face on both sides. But seriously, you cannot throw it back in their face because they will shut down. That's bad communication. All right, you cannot throw it back. Whatever they tell you, you got to take it with sincerity. And if you don't talk to them. Don't talk to them. Don't get them to open up because I'll tell you, they're not going to open up because they're not going to trust you. No trust, no what? No relationship.
Yeah, and you also have to choose to. Sometimes there's some underlying problems or issues within the marriage that haven't been settled because of unforgiveness. And so you have to learn how to forgive so that you can communicate. At times, that's people can't communicate because of they have unforgiveness blocking their way. And I want to read this scripture here. It says in Ephesians 4:32, it says, and be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God in Christ forgave you. Ask for forgiveness from those who wrong you.
All right. You got to figure out marriage so you can move forward. You got
Yes.
to figure out relationships so you can move forward. And that's why I say have God as a foundation. Communication is the next one, then you build from there. Um,
From those you wrong.
Yeah, that's good information. So I guess my battery, my light up there dying. But anyway, is what it is. How can couples ensure they heard and understood? You gotta do feedback between you and your spouse. You got to. If you're not having feedback, yeah. Some people just live together, and they're more roommates than couples. They're more roommates than husband and wife. And the thing is that can't be me. I'm not living with nobody, and it's not on the real. I need real relationship. All right. How do you communicate to build strong relationship? You got to test it out. You got to test out what you're saying and see how they react to what you're testing out. You got to test it out. You don't sit in a chair before you make sure that your chair is there before you sit down. And so you got to do that relationship. You got to make sure they there for you and they listening and then they showing up. You can't just assume that they got it because you said it. You said, because I'll tell you, when me and my wife not agreeing, I don't hear nothing she say. She could come and be like, boom, boom. I block out everything. Boom, boom, boom. And so when we decide to talk, and now I have to tell her my side. And then I'll say, okay, now this is what I understand. And then we go from there. And then I'm like, okay, that works. You got to figure out what's your style of communication and how it worked for the both of you guys. I'll tell you, I don't like to say spoiled, but I'm really spoiled. you know, and the thing is, and I don't always get my way, but I expect to get my way, and it is what it is. But I have learned because my wife, I mean, was the greatest at just shutting down. And then I'm like, hold on, you can't just shut down. And so I have to find a way to get in there. So I learned how to talk to get around her shutdown. Cause I find it, God give it to me, but we always try to figure it out. How can you practice? Well, if they going to sleep on you, how can couples practice active listening? If they going to sleep on you, they're not listening. If they watching TV, listen to music, they not listening to you. And so that's up to you to figure that out. You got to, if people listen to you or not. What stage most people break up? Well, I hope you break up in the beginning. A lot of couples break up later in life after kids are gone. Then they break up and move forward because they just grew apart. You can't grow apart. You got to
Well, we
find out.
hope they don't break up at all.
Yeah, yeah. And so people don't generally break up. You got to know what's going on in a relationship. If you got some infidelity going on, that's a different thing. You got abuse going on, that's a different thing. But on the real, most couples try to figure it out. People don't want to be alone. Some people think they want to be alone until the other person gone. I heard a couple, the wife, she doing everything. She got everything going on, this, that, and other. And she wanted to move on in life. And so she told her therapist, a marriage therapist, she said, uh, I want to divorce my husband, but I want to do it by myself. And so she brought the husband in. And so they sat down talking. She told her, babe, I want a divorce. I don't want to be married to you anymore. And the thing is, the husband said, okay, no problem. We move on. And she was disappointed because he didn't fight for her. And she didn't fight, he didn't fight for her. He said, okay. He agreed with her. He said, okay. And then when she figured out being home by herself, she said, did I make the right choice? She said the husband already within a week span, because he was still living together, within like a week, 2 week standpoint, he didn't have his own apartment. He took everything out of his name at the house they were living at, and he moved on with his life, changed his bank accounts, the whole nine yards, and moved in. And then he ended up getting with somebody else, and she had regret. She said, did I do the right thing? When you get divorced, you got to know why you're getting divorced. Don't just bring up conversations because you're not getting paid attention to. Both people got to figure out what makes the relationship work, what makes it strong, what makes it weak. How can we both get ahead? Is the communication is not on one party; it's both parties. You've got to figure out what works for you. All right. Um, Another question says, how can people improve their communication? Still practice. In marriage relationship is no rules to say how you're supposed to communicate. You got to practice. You got to practice, make perfect. And thing is, and by them paying attention to what you're saying, you know if you're effective or not. If they don't hear what you're saying, you're not effective. You have to change your approach for real. Last question, I think this last question. And it says, how can couples practice active listening? And so you got to pay attention. If you're somebody talking, they're monotone, they're boring, or if the guy watching the game or something like that, if his tension's not there, he's not listening. Because my wife, I'm telling you, she could be talking the game on. I don't hear nothing she said. I could tune that thing out, tune her voice out like boom, boom, boom. She gotta know. Wait to commercial. You don't wait to commercial. I don't hear you. And so she'll wait to commercial and say, hey. And I say, what? What's up? You got to know what works between y'all. Some games I don't get to watch because we're busy, because we got active outings to do, and this. I got a crazy life, so we tend to figure out what works for us and what don't, and go from there.
Don't
All right.
talk at the same time.
Yeah, don't talk at the same time, one at a time, and then have rules and stuff. That's why people need marriage counseling, and have rules so you know how to communicate effective. Sometimes all these questions you might need marriage counseling, and go from there. Because I don't have all the answers, but I know it works if you put a great effort to it. Because no relationship is unsalvageable. I think every relationship can be worked out. Depends on what you think. And then some people think I'll do better once I leave you. That's not true. Because you could do terribly worse. And so it's never true to think that you could do better. You cannot count on that. It's no guarantees. There's nothing out there to say you're going to do better, because it's like I could leave my wife and the next woman want to kill me. So it is what it is. Life is too risky. Nothing's concrete. You got to know what you're doing and why you want to do it, for real. All right. So I guess that's all the questions. Hey, I shared a lot. Thanks for the questions and stuff like that. I really hope you figure out communications. And like I said, our next topic is the last topic of it. The top 5 reasons people get divorced is family, is religion, is finances, is communication, and sex. All right. And so we're going to cover the sex one. If we don't have a guest speaker Wednesday, then we'll finish it up Wednesday. If not, it'll be next Friday. We'll finish it up. And hopefully this guest speaker works out and we can you'll be able to ask questions of domestic violence and stuff. I'm trying to squeeze it in. It's the only thing I could do is we go forth and go from there. All right. But appreciate each of you. And thank you for the show. Thanks for the birthday. This is my birthday show. And so I appreciate everyone. My wife and I, let me make sure I want to make sure I miss no questions and stuff like that. But we're about to, sign out of here and go from there. And I got to get ready for physical therapy tomorrow. And I got a couple more sections, a couple more weeks, and then that'll be gone. And I'm walking I'm doing everything right. And it's like I got a new knee, and life for me is just crazy busy, and I'm just moving all kinds of directions. I kind of love it, And so, but keep on keeping on. Don't stop what you're doing. Believe in yourself, believe in God, the one who creates. And I know with God, you can do all things. And so be encouraged, And so we just go from there. But appreciate you. And so I always say faith connected to the power of words bring forth the reality of God. And so I believe that's 100% true. This is our church information as well. If you get a chance, you in the Florida area, come on, check us out. If you plan to move down here, hey, I'm the pastor for you. And so I just, keep things real and go from there. But yeah. People all the time talking about moving to Florida. I did not know I was going to be living in Florida, but this is home for me, and I'm enjoying it. No snow, no taxes, so works really well for me. So I'm able to enjoy that. But that's our information on our church here down here in Florida. And we plan to do a whole lot of things and a whole lot more traveling to do as well, and promote my book, Unworthy, Chosen, Forgiven. So we're able to do that as well. All right. So keep on keeping on, doing what you do. And we, together we get there, and go from there. All right. With that being said, I'm able to, move forward and stuff like that. So appreciate you all. Yes, there is. Take it in there. All right, so.
To answer the call, press 1.
God, you taught me to trust you. You show me how to believe. You're the